Millions of people flock to Las Vegas every month to spend their time and money on the iconic Las Vegas Strip. But if you're a Las Vegas local, you know there's so much more to experience. I'm Danny Beckstrom. Welcome to How to Vegas, the locals guide to Las Vegas and Southern Nevada. In the next 30 minutes, we'll tell you about places and things us locals can enjoy, from where to get that pumpkin spice latte to spotting real-life sea creatures and what a longtime local artist is building right here in the valley. Let's get to it. Sea creatures, ghouls, and goblins, oh my! The Shark Reef at the Mandalay Bay brings all three together this Halloween season. 13 Action News' Jordan Gartner takes you underwater to experience this one-of-a-kind attraction.
An aquarium in the desert seems a bit far-fetched. That is until you visit the Shark Reef Aquarium at the Mandalay Bay Resort.
Shark Reef Aquarium is what we call a predator-based aquarium, and what that means is we exhibit animals that most people would consider predators in their natural environment, but we try to make sure that folks understand why they're important to the environment, why they need to be protected.
In a town known for its card sharks, it makes sense the only predator-based aquarium in North America calls Las Vegas home.
We opened in June of 2000, and it was to bring not just that predator story, but to bring environmental marine conservation to the desert.
And don't let the name fool you, as the exhibit is home to more than sharks, as about 2,000 aquatic animals call the exhibit home.
When you start out in our rainforest jungle, you're going to see animals like our Komodo dragon, our crocodiles, and reptiles.
The beginning of the experience features a thriving jungle where visitors can see those crocodiles, Komodo dragons, and piranhas up close and personal.
We have live plants. It's actually a giant skylight, so some of these palms go literally to the ceiling, 30 feet up in the air. And so the animals in there, the reptiles, the Komodo dragon, the crocodiles, they get that natural light environment, and so you actually feel like you're in this natural rainforest environment.
The walking exhibit then leads visitors to the marine area, where you'll see catfish, sea turtles, and stingrays.
So here you're inside the temple, and you can see we have everything from the growth coming in. The animals have inhabited this place as well. And so it's just a great transition story. And then, like I said, you ultimately end up on the bottom of the ocean.
And the stars of the show are indeed the sharks, and the aquarium takes you to the depths of the deep blue sea.
And then you end in our 1.3 million gallon shipwreck exhibit. And there you're surrounded by larger sharks, sand tigers, sandbars, Galapagos, as well as sawfish, green sea turtles, and a variety of fishes. And you just get this really immersive environment where the sharks are swimming all around you, whether above you or below you, and you feel like you're literally in a shipwreck on the bottom of the ocean.
The aquarium not only brings the world's predators to us, but also helps educate through its in-person exhibits.
We have educated over 300,000 local school kids on the importance of marine conservation. And then, of course, our touch pool right here is a fan favorite. You get to interact with these animals that, like I said, are normally very far removed from our environment. So you get to see why how their body behaves when you try to touch them, or how soft they are, or how rough they are. And so it gives you that really up-close personal connection. And
even the water creatures are getting into the Halloween spirit, as the aquarium transforms itself into a haunted tropical reef called the Hollow Reef. So this weekend we're very excited to welcome back Hollow Reef. It's a fun, family fun-filled adventure through the aquarium. We decorate for the kids. It is spooky fun, not scary fun. Hollow Reef is meant for our local guests to come visit us. Yes, there'll be tourists here who get to enjoy the festivities, but really it's our way of thanking the community for being here with us. Rattling chains, creaking doors, and spooky music can be heard over the sounds of the ocean and the jungle. So we have this great man-eating plant that will be in our jungle area. We have some cauldron witches, we have spiders, of course, and we have some fun things like some of our divers who maybe are more in the skeletal form as opposed to what you normally see when you visit the aquarium. Shark Reef staff will be on hand with treats for children while they travel the spooky hallways in their Halloween costumes. Kids in costume, they get in for only $5, and adults will, of course, enjoy visiting with them. They'll get to trick or treat, enjoy the decorations. The Shark Reef is still going strong after 20 years in the desert, and remains a must-see underwater adventure in Southern Nevada. We also want people to be able to appreciate the fact that all of this exists beneath the surface. Reporting, Jordan Gartner, 13 Action News.
Welcome to the community calendar for Halloween weekend. Calling all teens in Spring Valley. Teentober Costume Extravaganza takes place on October 30th from 3 to 5 p.m. right here at the Spring Valley Library. Grades 6th through 12th are welcome. Looking for a family-friendly Halloween carnival and trick-or-treating near Summerlin, Silverado Ranch, or the Southwest? Check out Halloween Town Pumpkin Patch, now open through October 31st. Halloween at Magical Forest has returned, welcoming boys and ghouls of all ages for a family-friendly Halloween experience benefiting Opportunity Village. Gates open every night at 5:30 through November 1st. If you have a community-minded event that you think would be perfect for our community calendar, email us at events@ktnv.com. I'm Jason Denant for 13 Action News.
We'll be right back with more of How to Vegas after the break. Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste right here in Las Vegas. For more on things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. The weather's finally getting a little cooler, which means you no longer have to take your pumpkin spice on ice. It's time to enjoy that PSL in all its steamy glory. 13 Action News' Jason Denant says he's an expert in this particular field and shares his favorite fall treats found around town.
As Halloween is almost here and the autumn weather is creeping into southern Nevada, this week I explore Las Vegas in search of pumpkin treats and autumn eats for this week's Vegas Like a Local. My first stop I made was Bad Owl Coffee. They have 3 locations in town. I stopped by the Rainbow location. They also have one in downtown and in Henderson. Their seasonal menu features a pumpkin creme latte made with organic pumpkin puree. Their second breakfast latte is a mix of coffee, cinnamon, maple, and sea salt cream. For eats, they have a pumpkin overnight oats dish that is perfect for the season. I spoke with manager Juan, and when I asked what makes Bad Owl a local fave, he said,
I think what sets us apart is what we do here and the passion that we have for our coffee. And we roast it ourselves. We bring the beans, the green, and we roast them, and we have our own a line of flavors that we like to produce, and we like to change it up, and we have a full-time roaster that loves what he does, and he appreciates the art in the coffee world.
This place is all about being local. They roast and package coffees in-store for home brewing. So if you're looking for a local coffee roaster, try Bad Owl. Crumble is also one of those places that you gotta go. They're known for their delicious cookies. And they don't disappoint this season with Halloween flared items and a pumpkin cookie treat. With 7 locations in town and an event location at the Orleans, no matter where you're at in Las Vegas, you aren't far away from a Crumble cookie store. Even on cooler days, do you still like to indulge in ice cream or custard? CJ's Italian Ice, with 4 locations throughout Las Vegas, are currently featuring 3 perfect seasonal flavors: apple pie, cookie butter, and the one I tried, pumpkin pie. Ooh, delicious. If you know a local spot that we must try, make sure to tag @KTNV on all your social media posts. Till next time, I'm Jason Denant, 13 Action News.
We'll be right back with more of How to Vegas after the break. Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste right here in Las Vegas. For more on things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. Melinda Shekels of offthestrip.com shares which spots are trending for good bites anytime in Vegas Eats. This week, Melinda checks out Zouk Nightclub's cocktail program and their Halloween weekend lineup, how you can dress up as a Vegas icon and have a good time at Circa, and offers a look at a new brunch spot in Summerlin.
Hi, this is Melinda Shekels, and this is Vegas Eats on How to Vegas. And every week we take you eating and drinking through the Las Vegas Valley for all the best news, bites, and chef happenings. So this week we're kicking off with Halloween weekend in Las Vegas, which is one of the biggest weekends of the year for eating, drinking, partying. So on the strip at Resorts World, Zouk Nightclub is doing Temple of Zouk. So it's their theme all weekend long, and they're having some incredible talent there. So on Friday night, they'll have G-Eazy. On Saturday night, they'll have DJ Snake. And on Sunday, for the main event, they'll be having Tiesto. They'll have costume contests all weekend, as well as they have a cocktail bar inside of Zouk called Capital Bar. So this is a great spot if you're into craft cocktails. They serve an amazing menu there of libations. You can have one prior to going into the club. You can make that your night, but check it out. Very innovative concept inside of Zouk Nightclub called Capital Bar. And then stay for the incredible show. Obviously, Tiesto, one of the biggest DJs in the world, and that will be an incredible weekend-long event there over at Resorts World. Now, if you're also in the mood for another type of Halloween costume contest, you have to check out Neon Idol at Circa. So Circa is inviting people to dress up like the iconic Vegas Vicky neon sign, which is now located in their Vegas Vicky bar at Circa Las Vegas. Opened last year. Vegas Vicky is a gathering place for everyone for cocktails. You can go there and have some of their incredible drinks that are on their cocktail menu, or you can create your own concoctions. Now, the Vegas Vicky costume contest will kick off on Sunday. There is a $10,000 prize for this. So all the Vegas Vicky lookalikes must be a member of their Club 1, which is Circa's Loyalty Players Club program, and they must enter for a chance to win the $10,000 prize. Costume contest reservations will be on Halloween. The day of the contest starts at 5 p.m., so you have to register all the way through 7 p.m. at Stadium Swim, and then you can strut your stuff in the Parade of Contestants, which begins at 7:30 on the casino floor, taking place on levels 1 and 2. And then the actual contest begins at 8 p.m. You'll meet the judges in the lobby there at Circa, and Neon Idol 2021 winner will be announced on the Fremont Street Experience stage at 9 p.m. So check that out, Circa Las Vegas. Leo, the Ibiza Cabaret, is now going full effect at Bellagio's Mayfair Supper Club. Had a chance to check out Leo. Really the most amazing dancers, dinner, spectacular dinner and a show event that I've seen in Las Vegas in a very long time. They have now extended through November 3rd, so you can go check out Leo by Pacha Group. This cabaret happens every year in Ibiza and now in Mykonos. And now you can see it in Las Vegas for a very short period of time. You go, you make a reservation. There are 2 different dinner menus, and then you get dinner and a show during this experience. It's at Mayfair Supper Club inside of Bellagio. Reservations still available through November 3rd. Now, over in Summerlin, La Neta, which is a new Mexican restaurant that opened there a few months ago, they're launching brunch this weekend for Halloween. So their brunch will take place on Sunday, and they're gonna have some very cool brunch dishes that are La Neta styles, I'd like to say. They have very cool, fun names. So some of the things that you can get at their Let's Brunch Spectacular includes the breakfast tostada with barbacoa, eggs, jack cheese, and pickled vegetables. They're doing trash quiles, which is a take on chile quiles, and you've got everything in there. You've got rojo sauce, chicken tinga, eggs, and fresh tortillas. They're doing a pozole verde, which is great for a Sunday, which is a warm bowl of pork, hominy, tortillas, and cilantro. It's a perfect soup, their recipe to start your morning. They also have a fried truff burger, which is a tortilla stuffed with beef, crispy tostada, Brussels slaw, and their house-made truff burger sauce. You can check all of this out at La Neta at downtown Summerlin starting this Sunday. Now, last but not least, in honor of National Pizza Month, which we're just ending here, so you only have a few days left on this, you can order Aperol and pizza kits from one of the best pizza makers in the world on Reserve Bar. So these pizza kits are an authentic taste of Italy. They are made by the Master Pizzolos from Naples. Recently had a chance to go to Naples and try some of this incredible pizza. Talia de Napoli and Reserve Bar are partnering on this with Aperol. There's 2 different types of pizza kits that you can get to have your own at-home pizza party. So it's a spritz and pizza night kit. You get Aperol, you get Prosecco, and you get a 3-pack of the Talia de Napoli double margarita pizzas. That's $100. Or you can do the Spritz and Pizza Party, which has 2 bottles of Aperol, 2 bottles of Prosecco, and a 6-pack of pizzas. That's $82. So these are amazing way to celebrate National Pizza Month the last few days. You can order them through the end of the month on Reserve Bar and Talia de Napoli. Check out offthestrip.com for all the details on all these items and more, and have a great Halloween weekend. Thank you.
We'll be right back with more of How to Vegas after the break.
This Sunday, check out this 58 Chevy truck. Or maybe this 81 Buick LeSabre is more your thing. Get a look at these and 400 other classic cars and emergency vehicles this weekend at the annual Injured Police Officers Fund Car Show in Boulder City. It's going to be a beautiful day in Veterans Memorial Park. Bring your friends and check out what's under the hood of these restored hot rods and roadsters. Even K9 and SWAT will be there. And Piff the Magic Dragon will fly in to give out awards. The IPOF supports the families of fallen officers from over 16 law enforcement agencies. This year honoring the 4 local officers who've recently died in the line of duty. And finally, an event you can bring your dog to. This Saturday night, join the Nevada SPCA for the first ever Neon Dog Walk in Sunset Park. Get your neon on and head out on the dune side of the park for a glowing event and 1.7-mile walk. Register online or at the event. For the full list, just head to our website and look for 13 Things. Have a great week.
Welcome back to How to Vegas, your weekly look at what there is to see, do, and taste right here in Las Vegas. For more on things to do around the valley, visit ktnv.com/things to do. From tools of earlier civilizations to making things take flight, John Stolting is a Las Vegas artist and educator fueled by curiosity. 13 Action News' Amy Abdelsayed catches up with the artist to show you what he's currently exploring and building.
John Stolting likes to make things. Well, most things.
Swords don't interest me at all. There's a lot of people who make swords. I like butter knives.
As an artist, he's inspired by something so many of us take for granted.
Stuff that people use to actually live on a daily basis. Those are the things that are more interesting to me.
Ordinary, everyday objects. Take this bar of tin he smelted.
Get the crank.
As John explains, that sound is called the cry of tin, and the noise comes from the crystalline structure of the metal.
Makes sort of that crunchy sound when you bend it, and the weird thing about it is if you let this sit for a day or two, those crystals will actually sort of re-knit and it'll do it again.
John is an art teacher at UNLV and the department's facilities manager.
So I basically just fix things.
Fixing things is something he's been doing all his life.
When I was a little kid, I was always just taking clocks and stuff apart, but as I got a little older and into high school, I think it was more about I couldn't afford to go buy a lawnmower, so I'd get one off the side of the road and fix it.
Messing with mechanics only fueled his curiosity.
I like to figure out what's behind the mystery. As a kid, I always figured I'd go into space or fly an airplane or something.
The first thing he did after high school was get an aviation degree.
I worked in aerospace and I built airplane parts and built little bits for satellites and stuff like that.
John uses science to help answer the how and why behind life's everyday little mysteries. But he says art helps with that too.
They're really a lot closer together than people tend to realize.
For as long as he's been tinkering, he's also been creating artwork.
Since I was a little kid sculpting, I really liked clay. Eventually the art won out.
John moved to Las Vegas from the Midwest to attend grad school, and he has a Master of Fine Arts from UNLV.
Las Vegas has kind of become white noise to me, like the Strip and stuff like that. I think the desert around influences my work a lot more.
Recently, he started showing his work again. He calls his creations part experimental archaeology.
Currently, I'm just doing lots of small metal castings and things that are kind of, I'd say, on the verge of jewelry.
In October, he was the featured artist at Available Space Art Projects with a show called Miscellaneous Debris.
It's my first show in 6 years.
It was 6 years ago when John became a dad.
It wasn't really an intentional hiatus, it just kind of happened, you know.
Now that she's a little older,
Faye, my daughter, she helps me a lot.
John likes to go hiking and find raw materials for his work, like different kinds of metals to smelt or interesting rocks to polish.
She gets her own sack and she'll get the reds or the greens or whatever for the day.
If you couldn't tell already, he's a history buff, which is part of what inspires him too.
I'm very interested in like the Bronze Age and the late Neolithic, and I think part of that is just because you could go out with a couple of rocks and create society, basically. I mean, the people were really making everything we've got here today out of just the natural, raw world and doing it by hand and doing it without electricity or the internet.
John creates historical reproductions with some of the materials he collects.
This is a fairly accurate reproduction of sort of a Middle Bronze Age razor. This is what they would pass for as a mirror in the Bronze Age, basically.
At the Barrack Museum, kids can touch and feel a bronze chisel while learning about Aztec history because John made one just for that. I asked him what he wants people to take away from his work, and at least for his miscellaneous debris show, John said it was pretty straightforward.
Everything here, it's just sort of like that hairpin is a hairpin, the knife is a knife. There really isn't any grand concept behind it. So it's really very much about the objects, I think.
Still, I couldn't help but notice every object had a story, including the tiny ecosystems on his desk.
That's super tiny. He's about the size of a grain of rice, if not smaller.
This one comes from a sample he collected while at the wetlands with his daughter.
I wanted her to see sort of the scale of the world and understand that there are lots of, little things. And so we went down to the wetland, of course, created those ecosystems, I guess so she can see that she's really giant,
So much of what he makes is to better understand. Learn more about John's work at ktnv.com/things to do. For How to Vegas, I'm Amy Abdelsayed.
Thanks for watching How to Vegas. If you missed any part of this week's program, just hit the back button on your remote and scroll down until you see KTNV Digital Exclusives. There you'll find this show and all of our dedicated streaming content. Stay tuned for more from 13 Action News after the break, and check us out anytime here on KTNV Streaming. Las Vegas news on your time.